G'day, I'm Kevin, a retired Australian living my life here in Chiang Mai. But burning season is approaching in the north, so I'm going to jump on a train and head south to escape the smoke. This is my journey. This is 52 weeks. Okay, I am back at KL Central. I'm continuing my journey south today. Had a bit of an early start. Jumped on a red line train here. Got a train just a bit after 9, and it was relatively empty, so that was good because I had my bags with me. But yeah, I'm heading south to Johor Bahru today. I have a couple of hours, but I want to get some snacks and make sure I know where I'm going, all that sort of stuff. It is a bit of a journey today. I've got a train trip a little bit over 2 hours, and then I have to change trains. There's no direct train between Kuala Lumpur and Johor Bahru, so yeah, I have to change trains, so that'll be interesting. Hope I make the connection, but Malaysian trains have been very efficient so far, so should be all right. Snacks acquired and boarding gate found. They tell me that there's a restaurant available on the train. Not sure if it's one or both, or what sort of restaurant it will be. So I grabbed some snacks to get me there. I've got a bit over 2 hour ride on the first train, and then about 4 hours on the second train, and waiting in the transit for a couple of hours as well. So I might be hungry by the time I get there, but I've got plenty of snacks. Well, that was an easy process. The first train was clean, very comfortable. We got to Gimas, and we were waiting there a little while, and the gentleman from the station got on and just made sure I knew that I needed to go an extra stop. So that was good. And then when I got here to this stop, I had plenty of people around to ask what to do, so I had to check out, and I'm just waiting before I can check back in again for the second leg of the journey. Alright, that was very seamless. Plenty of people to ask questions if you need information. But yeah, all very easy. And now I am on the second leg, the longest leg, to JB Central. Okay, I have made it to Johor Bahru, so now I just have to find the hotel. I made it. I found the hotel. The directions on Google Maps had me walking around the block. I think it's probably much easier. I thought on the map I could see a way that was much more direct. But it was only a 20-minute walk anyway, so but yeah, I made the hotel and I am in Johor Bahru, which is the capital of Bahru state and a giant metropolis. I'm here for a few days, not expecting a huge amount. I think it's probably just a really big capital city. Had a look on Google about things to do and there's lots of shopping malls mentioned. So if that's the best they can do, there's probably not going to be a lot around. Yeah, I came down this road last night when I arrived and there was stacks of food places along here, so that's good. It's actually very close to the hotel, which is just a couple hundred meters up the road here. Yeah, so as I say, I'm here for a few days, but it's probably just going to be pretty quiet. Have a bit of a wander and look around. It doesn't look overly pedestrian friendly. There's a couple of skywalks I was on last night. And there's lots of construction going on around the area as well. So yeah, don't know what I'm going to get up to, but I'm certain I'll find something to do, even if it's just to relax. Okay, I have to bow to the wisdom of Google Maps. I've just been to the railway station, decided I'd check out what I thought was a shortcut, and indeed, it's much shorter. But you have to wander through this shopping centre where Google Maps doesn't work very well, and it involves the change of a couple of floors as well. So now that I know the way, it will be easy to get there for when I cross over to Singapore. But last night it probably would have been very complex and probably taken as long to figure out as it took me to walk around the block. So I bow to Google's wisdom. I thought I might try and get down to the waterfront, and here I am. I must be pretty close to the border because the roaming on my mobile phone has been bouncing around between welcoming me to Singapore and welcoming me to Kuala Lumpur. It's changed about 4 or 5 times as I've been walking. So I've made it to the waterfront and I'm just sitting here looking across to Singapore. So just across from me is the Woodlands Recreational Park, and to my right is the causeway between Johor Bahru and Singapore. That little building over there, I suspect, is the Woodlands checkpoint, which I'll be passing through sometime in the next few days, I hope. And to my left is the rail bridge over, which is what I'll be on. So I expect the rail bridge crosses over there and loops around back to the checkpoint. And behind me is the Johor Bahru Opera House, which is a relatively recent addition, I believe. But I certainly wasn't expecting to find an opera house here. But like the Sydney Opera House and the Melbourne Concert Hall and so forth, I think they get used for a lot of things, not just opera. It's actually pretty nice down here. There's lots of restaurants and bars at the water level, so I would imagine of an evening it would be quite pleasant having a meal down here and watching the lights of Singapore, maybe catching a show after dinner. I think I could probably cope with all of that, but it's even just a nice place for a walk down here. Lots of residential developments, but on the other side, some very nice views. For me, the city of Johor Bahru is nothing particularly special. It's a big capital city with lots of traffic. In fact, if I thought cars were king when I got to Penang, I should have waited till here. Cars are king here. Yeah, lots of shopping. There's a massive amount of construction about. So they might just be in that kind of phase of transiting into, you know, something that's a little bit more pedestrian and tourist friendly. Gotta watch out for traffic. Yeah, I suspect the hotels here rely on people transiting from Malaysia to Singapore across the border. There are a few things to see and do, but not a whole heap. I have been staying here at the Citrus Hotel, which is quite comfortable and centrally located. It has a number of good points. So as I say, it's right near the JB Central railway station, so when I leave it will be an easy walk. It's also located in an area with plenty of food, so I haven't starved, which is another good thing. But yeah, it's a nice hotel. They actually do advertise it as you get off the train, and the advertising is accurate. it's a nice hotel, not too expensive, and a really good location. I thought I would drop down to the waterfront again, just to see what it's like of an evening. And the entrance is still pretty nice. It's actually much more lively. Some of the restaurants are open up, and yeah, it's quite a pleasant atmosphere. There's a big breeze on at the moment, which I'm hoping doesn't mean that there's a big rainstorm brewing. But I guess I'll find out soon. Yeah, so tonight is my last night in Johor Bahru, and tomorrow I'm heading over that way to Singapore. Will I come back to Johor Bahru again? Yeah, I think so. I probably wouldn't stay as long as I did this time. I would like to come back and see if the all the construction they're doing is kind of just one big upgrade, or whether it's permanently like that here. But I'd like to see that. And yeah, I mean, I'd like to come and, you know, maybe spend a night or two, particularly if I'm heading over to Singapore via the land route. But tonight's not only my last night in Johor Bahru, it's my last night in Malaysia, and I've really enjoyed my time here. I've enjoyed my travel. Train travel was really easy here, and there's some nice places to visit and some places that I want to come back to, so you'll probably see me here again at some stage. But as I say, tomorrow I'm heading over the other side there to Singapore, and I will catch you then. Thanks for joining me on my journey. I really appreciate your company. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video and you're not subscribed, you might like to consider doing so by clicking here. Or if you just want to see something else I've made, click here and that will take you to another video. And if you're really feeling like a binge, click here and that will take you to one of my playlists. Hope to see you on the road again soon.